2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quarantine Diaries, episode 34 or 35. It's been a while. We took the week off for some reason. Connor started a new job, so definitely an adjustment there.
Have to recharge the batteries.
Absolutely. But as always, we're joined by my co-host, Connor Hazelton. Connor, how you doing?
Real good. I'm excited to get back in the mix, back in the bump and grind, the thick of it, with a solid crew. Starting 5 for the ages.
Yes. And this is a very solid starting 5, just so we can jump back into it. We have Andy, Gianta, Sweeney, and Wags all in the building again. Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Great.
Great to be here, boys.
Absolutely. All right, Connor. You got any segments for everybody since we've been off a while?
I just have a quick take before we get into it. And for the record, everyone, we're doing a basketball show. This is all basketball because of all the Jordan talk, and there's hopeful talk of the NBA coming back soon. But a quick baseball take.
Ooh.
I hope the players and owners don't figure it out, and they don't have a season, and the sport just comes crumbling to the ground.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't hate baseball. I just think it'd be super funny.
Yeah. I think that's great. It's the oldest, most outdated, boring game there is. I still enjoy it and everything, but if one has to go, that would be the funniest.
And Connor's the only one here that actually has a good baseball team that he roots for. Like, us three are Pirates fans, Sweeney's an Orioles fan. So, like, would I care if baseball crumbled? Probably not, but...
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees
the Pirates were 8 games under 500 right now. Just like, oh, nice, they're having a good.
Yeah,
I didn't know the season was over.
You're staying aflood.
I mean, the Yankees are the only good team I root for, and if their season comes to a screeching halt, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's sad that the best Pirate season in like 3 years involves them not playing.
Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, like I said, a lot of basketball talk. We're starting off with a 25 and under draft. So anyone who's 25 years old and younger, we're drafting because drafts are fun and young people are cool if they're good at basketball.
How many rounds are we doing here?
I have 6. You could,
starting 5, 6-man seems appropriate.
We'll do 5. If we can't come up with 6, then we'll just stick with 5. Does that work for everybody?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do they have to be in the NBA currently?
Currently, yes.
Okay.
And should we make it like you're building a starting 5 to like pick from different positions, or have just an idea in mind?
I was gonna ignore positions, to be honest.
It's a positionless game at this point anyway, G.
That's fine. True, yeah. I'm playing small ball.
Like all point guards. Don't be lame. Like, get some forwards in the mix.
I don't have to have a center. You can't make me.
Right,
I'm building a team. I'm ready to do.
No positional limits, but like you can't have like 3 Ben Simmons you won't want to do that, where you don't have 3-point shooting or anything.
And I think it's fair if you want, you can take players from this year's draft class, but no one tickles my fancy, so have at it.
Yeah.
All right, first pick in this draft goes to... It's Kyle, it's you.
Wow, you didn't let me guess. I was going to guess Kyle.
Yeah. Finally.
Second pick goes to... It's Andy.
Yeah.
Connor, I love that hat.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Next
pick goes to... Wags, you're picking third.
Yeah.
That feels good.
First is the worst, second is the best, third is the one with the treasure chest.
I think that's correct in this draft.
Third is the one who gets shit on his chest.
Queen's picking fourth, and I get the slippery snake.
You are a little snake.
You are a little snake.
Nice. Now I can secure the player that I want because I don't think Kyle will take him.
I know. I really want to, but I can't. I do have to take Luka here. He is just the best value with his age.
Oh, actually, not what I was thinking.
Wow.
Oh, I just got him.
Yeah, shot across the bow, but I mean, 21 can carry an offense. He was in MVP voting this year, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Fourth sixth in scoring, fourth in assists. He can just do it all. Fun size. And he's doing this all without being like crazy athletic. So just like give him a couple years in the NBA to like kind of gear up to shape, and then we'll see what happens. But the fact that he's been this promising this early, easy number one pick.
Andy, you're on the clock.
Oh, man. This is really tough for me. I got the two guys that I have highest on my board besides Luka are two of my favorites. One of them's like actually my favorite, but the other one, like I think I should. I gotta draft without bias, and if I'm doing that, I'm gonna pick the Greek Freak.
You have to. You just have to.
Oh shit, he's 25. I literally did all this research and completely left him off.
Wait,
yeah, I think like that's big. Like Luka's got 4 years younger than him, but Giannis still at 25. I mean, he can do what he's doing for the next.
Hey, he's eligible for this draft. He's eligible for this draft.
Yeah, if he gets a 3-point shot whatsoever, he's gonna be like one of the best ever. It's crazy. Yeah, total blunder on my part, admittedly, just leaving him off. I did have Jokic here, and that's who I was thinking about taking. That would have been more ridiculous. So I'm glad.
It was between Greek Freak and Jokic.
All right, Wags, you are on the clock.
Okay. I'm going with this pick because I have a vision for my team, and I'm drafting Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Oh!
I like it.
He's miscast.
He is miscast.
Wags, I'm a firm believer. I don't know if I've talked with you about this, but I always say that why couldn't Ben Simmons be what Giannis is? Like, not quite as athletic as Giannis, but like this, like if they built the offense around him like that, he's big, he can handle the ball. Like that's the kind of guy that he could be. But I don't know.
The beta.
Sixers should be his team. Yeah. Sixers should be his team.
It's as simple as he's your point center. And you surround him with shooters, and you just run the floor. I mean, he can get up and down the floor as fast as any player in the NBA. And
he thrives when he's Sorry, it's like in transition, passing the ball. I mean, he's one of the best.
I do just think it's wild how he absolutely refuses to shoot threes. Like terrible players who are probably way worse. Like Russell Westbrook has no problem shooting 8 threes a game at 28% his whole career. Why won't Ben Simmons at least give it a shot for a month?
It's correct. All right, Swain, you're picking fourth. Who do you have?
I'm gonna go with the cat, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, it's a great pick.
I like
that. I love it.
His offensive numbers are insane.
Yeah,
stupid.
I just hope they figure it out in Minnesota. I want the best for Cat.
I know.
I don't think D'Angelo Russell's that guy though.
Nope.
I don't either.
Nope.
I like D'Angelo, but he just doesn't seem to fit.
Nope.
Anywhere.
He's as bad on defense as what Cat is, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have no defense.
Boy, the world is my oyster right now. Picking 5 back-to-back
picks.
I'm going with my guy. He's been the rock of my fantasy team for 3 years. He's going to be it for the next decade. One of my favorite players, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think you had to, Con.
Yep.
Had to.
If we're doing this pod a year from now, he might be
the best one.
More than that.
I would have taken him top 3. I would have. I love Tatum.
I wouldn't argue it.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
He took a big step this year.
And for my next pick, injuries be damned. Give me Zion. I just want him.
Oh,
I want Zion.
I was so worried this was the RG pick already.
No. No. I'll take the should have been New York Knicks Zion. He's just
Dude, I love Zion, but he looks fat and he can't walk, and he's like 19.
I know, dude.
He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out.
Something's wrong.
I think that's it.
But hey, you gotta take a chance sometimes.
And I think that's important too. Is like nowadays you can fix that stuff. Like Steph Curry's ankles are like the big one that like just the way he played basketball, he was just gonna do himself out of the league, and the medical staff got a hold of him and kind of set him back on the right path. So hopefully they can do the same thing with Zion.
Yeah. Dwayne, second round for you.
So I'm going to go with my trend of bucket getters, and I'm taking Devin Booker.
Oh, I wanted him so bad.
I like how you kept the
Shooter.
Kentucky boys
Shooter.
together. I like how you kept the
Love it.
Kentucky boys together.
T-Book.
Fuck.
Sween, do you remember when we saw them play against South Carolina and Booker came off the bench, just got, I think, like 18 quick points? Like, it was no problem.
Yeah, I remember the one game against Florida too when Hoffman was there and Michael Frazier had like 27, hit 9 threes.
Sounds about right against South Carolina basketball.
Pre-Final Four.
That's correct. All right, Wags. Who will be Ben Simmons' running mate?
Brandon Ingram.
Oh, I love it.
He's going for size. I like
Yep.
it. Length.
Dude, I'm so high on Ingram. Like, I had him in my top 10. I think, and again, this is another comparison that's like not quite, and I'm not saying he'll be this, but like he might be the closest player in the NBA you can compare to like a Durant. Don't you think? He's kind of 6'8", 6'9". He's slim. He can shoot. He can get to the bucket. He dribbles. Like
Shoot.
I think like this. He was having a.
But I see the vision.
Yeah, but I mean, he was averaging 24, 6, and 4 this year. Like he was having a really good year.
Dude,
I
his
think
wingspan is
people-
like 7'3" or something stupid. Like he can shoot over anybody.
Yeah. Just couldn't play with LeBron. It's not his fault.
Tough. When you're 21 years old, it's tough playing with LeBron.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Andy. You have. How about you take a pick?
Damn, I can't believe my boy's still here, but like I already have my big man. I don't know if I can do it.
You can't give Kyle, Luka, and Jokic. You just
I
can't.
know.
You can't do that,
All
Andy.
European.
I know. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna find a way to make it work.
Yes,
I'm
you
taking
will.
my boy Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
The big galoot, dude. He's my favorite player.
The
He's-
big salute.
Dude, he's
Is there a better passer in the league?
he is so smooth and athletic for his size. It's crazy. And like when you have a big man like that can pass like he does, that's hard to stop. Who's stopping him and Giannis?
Insane.
He started out the year
They'll spread
quite slow, but he picked it up pretty quickly
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he came to start the season very out of shape. But
Yeah.
hey,
And
he
he used
plays
it
his
to
way
his advantage.
fine.
Dude.
Dude,
It's
he's got like no definition. He's chubby. His arms, like 5 minutes into the game, it looks someone like had slapped him up around for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Right.
He
Just
definitely
a
needs to
average
he needs
Joe.
to trim a little bit, but I don't want him to get rid of all of it because I think if he gets too skinny, he won't be as good as he is.
Yes.
It's
I
like
agree.
me. If I got skinny, I wouldn't be able to do what I do when I play basketball.
Friends with you,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle. Your next 2 picks because you have 2 picks.
Yeah, this is kind of tough just to like kind of envision everything because Luka does need the ball pretty much all the time. So you got to fill in the pieces around him. I want to go with a super high upside big man. Huge fan of him from my NBA 2K team. It's me at point, Devin Booker at shooting guard, and DeAndre Ayton at center.
Oh.
I do think his upside's through the roof. He's just kind of toiling away in Phoenix. He had a rough start to his career with that weird suspension, which I'm still not really sure what happened there.
I think he smoked pot and took whatever one of those drinks are.
Yeah, and cursed on this team, so that's perfectly fine. But he can protect the rim. He's still got a little way to go in that regard, but he can do everything as a center. Like you could see him turning into a Karl Anthony Towns type, and hopefully he'll get there with Luka. So we're going him, and then I just think for the value as well, young John Morant here.
I knew you were gonna take him.
Yeah, I like having
I
center,
like John.
small forward point guard taken care of and getting some complementary pieces in the other positions. So yeah,
Fuck.
Mm.
It's a dog.
absolutely.
And also to Ayton, the Suns definitely should have taken Luka, but he's
Right.
making it so it's not like as crazy that they passed on him.
Right.
Like, it was still the wrong move,
crazy.
but he's not like a scrub.
Right.
Andy, go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, man. This. Oh. I mean, this is just my best available. I think I have to take him here. I had him rated 5th on my list. And I think he faced some criticism his first couple years, but this season he really improved on his weaknesses, and that's Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He'd be my shooting
He
guard.
was sitting around too long.
Did he have criticisms his first 2 years?
I think people thought that he was just like pretty erratic with his shot selection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he improved his percentages, and I mean he was having a pretty good year this year, 24 points a game, and I think he's
Till fucking Rudy Gobert had to go and ruin it like a dick.
Yeah, what an idiot.
I won't be drafting that asshole, I'll tell you that much. I don't even know if he's 25, but fuck him.
Rudy. Yeah, I'll pass. That guy's a dickhead.
All right, Wags, who you got?
I'm going to go Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Fuck me in the dick. That's who I was taking this round.
I
God,
thought about taking him right there.
So
God
nice.
damn it, dude. I love Shea.
Too.
He's awesome.
I
I love like
Shea.
his whole like learning under Chris Paul and just
Yeah.
kind of
Perfect.
it's been working out.
Or is Chris Paul learning under
Chris
him?
Paul basketball camp every
Maybe.
year.
Swine flu.
Mm-hmm.
I had Swain.
So the other people I'm looking at would probably be even more of a reach than this guy right now. But I love speed. We're going De'Aaron Fox.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You've
I
got
like
to be
it.
kidding me. That was my next pick for my replacement of Shea. God damn it.
All
Shit.
Kentucky so far for me, by the way.
Yeah.
It is all Kentucky. Fuck, man. Now I don't know what to do.
Mm.
You know, I think I'm going to keep the size up front going. And he doesn't tip. He's not like a 5 per se, but we're going to play him at 5. And that's Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, I love it.
I knew
That's
you
my
loved him.
boy.
I was
Big
thinking about
fan.
him then.
Dude, I think like if he wasn't playing in Memphis, like if he was in a bigger market, I think people would be talking about him more.
See, I think Jaw's going to get people talking about him because Jaw's the star of the show.
Yeah,
Right.
you got your foundation now. Memphis
That
has
GM
something to
is
build on.
killing it. Like they're building a nice little core there.
All right.
Brandon Clark.
My next pick. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going RJ now. He's going to be an all-star. Fuck all of you. I don't care. I just want him. I just want him. Pair him back with Zion. I don't fucking care. I love him. He's gonna figure it out. He's good.
I mean, they say he's got like a crazy work ethic. He's just like a professional.
Yeah, which is good. I saw someone, I forget who said it, but is comparing like Canadians who probably aren't as good as they get made out to be. He's like Wiggins is more talented but doesn't have the work ethic that RJ has.
Sure.
Well, we can't underestimate that Jimbo Dolan fucks up everything.
I know.
Everything.
Maybe Leon Red's the guy that figures it out. Probably not, but I want something to believe in. So just let me do this.
I think RJ can still definitely be that awesome because he was the number 1 recruit for like 4 years before Zion like kind of came out everywhere. He was always projected like number 1 in the future draft. So he's been there a long time. He's still got it.
I think he's
He
like
does.
Jabari Parker.
Say what?
I think he's like Jabari Parker.
Yeah, true.
Is he still on the board?
Oh, man, that upsets me.
Should upset you.
You're
I
up.
think of those draft, those top like 5, 6, that Barrett had the most NBA skill set. And I always said that I felt like he was the most pure talented of that crew. Like Zion's obviously a freak and Jaw's really good, but I think Barrett could turn into an all-star player.
Yeah, he's not gonna be like a franchise-changing player, but he'll have like a nice career.
Yep.
That is my stance. Sweeney, who is the fourth starter on your team?
So I got enough buckets. I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown.
I love Jaylen Brown. Love him. Big fan. Huge. Speaking of which, that 2016 draft, sneaky kind of really good first three picks. Simmons, Ingram, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Like those, it's tough to beat like three just good picks off the board like that. Wags, who's going to be on Team Wagner?
I got to process this. I think I'm going to go Jamal Murray here.
Okay, I like it.
I like that.
I do too.
I think Jamal Murray is destined to be like the third best player on a good team kind of guy.
I agree with that.
But man, I wanted Jaylen Brown there bad.
Nuggets need another guy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they do.
Or they need... Nope, I'm not going to say anything else because this player could still be on the board. Someone might take him. Andy, go.
So I need a point guard. Because Donovan's gonna be my shooting guard. I have a point guard rated higher than this guy, but he just fits my team right and what I want out of my point guard. And I think I'm higher on him than most people. I'm still a believer. I want Lonzo Ball.
Man, I agree. I love Lonzo.
I just if I'm building this team that I'm building right now, like I want a point guard, doesn't need to shoot all the time, is going to distribute, can hit some shots when he needs to, and play a little bit of defense.
It's your type of point guard. It's your prototypical point guard.
Give me like 12 and 8, 12 and 9. Like that's fine.
Or 8 and 13.
Sure. Let these other guys do their thing.
How do we feel about his brother?
I don't know.
He's projected as the top 3 pick. I mean,
yeah, everyone's pretty high on him.
Dude, I've seen reports of like teams trading up for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I think it's a red flag. Like I saw like a graphic of his greatest strengths, and number 1 was like flair. Like that can't be the best thing that you do.
I hate every bit of that.
It was this Office Space with your pieces of flair.
I just think he, in his mind, and like my thing is with LaMelo, is it? Yeah, that's the one. I think he just has a green light all the time in his mind. Just put the rock up.
He's been on like
your dad's LeVar.
Yeah,
to get into that.
Kyle, to round out the starting 5.
Yeah, I think the big problem with Ayton too is he's like tough to fit because he's not the best rim protector. He does clog up the paint, even though he can space out. That's kind of the issue of him being a traditional center. So I got to go somewhere in a kind of weird direction for my power forward, and I'm going to go with Domantas Sabonis.
I had him on the big board.
He really came on this past year, but I think the underrated thing about this team is everybody's a pretty good passer. So we're going to get him in there. He can distribute like out of the elbow, out of the paint. Just love having that guy who can focus on boards, passing, and some light scoring. And then I think I'm going to move this guy to his real position, and he's still going to be a defensive liability, but I do want a little bit more shooting just to stretch the floor. So I am going Trae Young here. Is he still on the board?
Yeah, I can't believe he's still on the board.
You have 2 point guards like a fucking dick, and now I don't have any to draft.
Right. But I'm going to throw him at shooting guard. We're going to have a conversation where he's going to be basically just an off-ball shooter and score. I think he'll be kind of happy with that. And then he can just participate in the slash and kick game with Luka. So I don't know. My team concerns me defensively, but I really like my offense.
There, Kyle.
Yes.
God damn it. All right, Andy.
I need a small forward or something of that variety.
Sort.
What about a medium-sized forward?
Position
I got
back.
some. Yeah. Shit. Everyone else on my board is like big men.
Oh, I have point guard. We're good. I found one. We're fine. All of you can fuck off.
All right, This is kind of a reach, but I think this guy would fit my. I need a role player, and I'm gonna go with Justice Winslow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I like
whoa!
That's a grinder.
I like
Yeah, I mean
that.
he can play defense. He can handle the ball if he needs to. He's not gonna take shots away from other guys, but you know.
I mean, there's so many players in the NBA where like their first stop it just didn't really happen, and then that second team, they need a new situation, like a new scheme. Like Justin Winslow has a high ceiling. Something can happen.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
He could still be like
I agree.
all-star.
That stretch, not this past year, but the year before that, when like a bunch of people were hurt and like he was the primary ball handler, he actually played incredibly well, and that like really showed off his ceiling. Jimmy Butler showed up, and then he just stopped playing. So
yeah, it's the thing. Like he's listed as a 3 or 4, but you're right. Like Dragic and everyone got hurt, and he was playing point guard for like 2 weeks. Like I don't know.
it was a lot of fun then.
Wags.
I'm going Jonathan Isaac.
Fuck.
Oh.
And yeah,
That's what I wanted. Wag.
I just want 3-and-D guys. Give me
Yeah.
all of them.
All the 3 and D.
people forget like the first half of this year, he was like talked about as a defensive player of the year candidate just because of everything he was doing.
Yeah, I think he could. That's what he could be for sure.
Yeah.
I guess I could have taken him. He could play 3. Fuck.
Yeah, he could do that.
I was
Great.
thinking he was more of a big man, but I had him obviously on my list higher than Winslow. Where is Winslow now? Is he on the Grizzlies?
He's on the
Yeah.
Grizz.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big fan of that.
They're killing it.
So I wanted Jonathan Isaac, so I have to think about this. I haven't given up on him yet, and I think he's got a motor, so at least that's something. I'm going Marvin Bagley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've given up on him.
That's good.
I like Bagley.
He was just hurt this year.
He's only 20. I'm not giving up yet.
He's got fucking ups too.
I'm not giving up on Sack.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
DeAndre Ayton, Bagley. I don't know. You might have something there.
I'm actually not giving up on Bagley either. I want him to figure it out. Hold on. Now I need to look up young guys real quick.
There's one that I can't believe he hasn't been taken yet.
I got one guy too.
So, do we want to do 6 man after this then?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can do
I fucked up.
All right.
Oh, I see him.
This is going to be an interesting point guard choice for me, especially with the RJ backcourt because he likes to shoot and he's in a shitty situation. But I think he's going to be an all right pro when he goes to his second team, and that is the sex man, Colin Sexton.
Whoa.
All right.
Out of left field.
Mm.
Yeah, way out of left field.
I hate him.
Need a point guard.
He wasn't on there.
And coming off the bench for me will be Bam Adebayo because he's
There
fine.
you go.
That
That's
was
the
I
guy.
can't believe Adebayo was still there. I mean, he was an all-star this year, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Tom, you deserve to be more excited about that pick than what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a steal.
It's a great pick. I'm proud of it. You know what? I'll probably play him at center over Jaren Jackson Jr., I think, and have Triple J come off the bench. I think that's the
Okay.
move. All right, Sweeney. Who's the 6 man for Team Sweeney?
I think Elo in this role, he could succeed coming off the bench. So I'm going D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
You stole half my team.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's a perfect description of what D'Angelo Russell could be. Your
Mhm.
spark plug off the bench. Starts
Like a Lou Williams.
Yeah. Like that guy who can score at the start of the second quarter when everyone's still taking a piss or at the concession stand or whatever. He's the guy who can still score.
Yep.
All right, Wags, your sixth man or woman.
My sixth man. I'm gonna go John Collins.
Damn.
Okay, I like it.
So I was gonna take Wags.
Wags took him. He's Team Wagner now.
Right
in your face,
both those
Andy.
guys in Atlanta, like both of them are pretty good. I mean, Trae Young and John Collins are good, and like they're putting up numbers. It's like, I mean, you guys can't win like 15 games in the East. Like,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
No, they're bad.
Yeah.
Are we Cam Reddish believers or not so much?
Ooh.
He's
Sweet! Not giving up. Let's
I
go.
liked him better in high school than Zion and RJ Barrett because that stroke was just
He has a sweet stroke.
That's the problem. Is just like he has this beautiful stroke. I could see it all day where he could just be a great 3-point shooter. I've never seen him be good at threes at any point. It's the only thing.
He's like that guy. Like once the lights go on,
Right.
just get the gifts.
But in an open gym, no one's better.
Yep.
Just like me. Andy. Sixth man for Team Andy, the Italian Stallions. The spicy meatballs.
I think this guy kind of was forgotten about this year. I think he was hurt, or maybe didn't play that well. I don't know, but I want Lauri Markkanen.
Laurie Bird.
I think he was hurt, but also I think shit with the Bulls is just the Bulls are just the Bulls.
Yeah, so like I mean, he's a career like his 2 years. He's been like a, almost 15-10 guy.
He can play for you,
and he can shoot from three. And yeah, I think it's a nice. He'll be good off the bench. Spread the floor a little bit. Let Jokic work in the middle.
He's white too. That helps.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't matter to me.
Carter.
What was that?
Wendell Carter. How are we feeling about him? Other Bull big.
He was. I like him, but he was also hurt this year.
I loved him in college. I felt like he was like the best player on that team at Duke.
I don't think anybody's gonna be good on the Bulls except Zach LaVine and Kobe White as long as they have the ball all game.
Well, I guess Zach LaVine's still on the board. I don't think he's 25.
Yeah, he is 25.
Or 26.
He literally feeds into my biggest problem with no defense.
Was he an All-Star this year?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
And I think he was unhappy about it too, if I recall.
Yeah.
I fucking hate when people get all fucking up in their feelings. Oh, I didn't make the All-Star team. Shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, I think he was one of those guys.
Bradley Beal was robbed.
Well, Bradley Beal was robbed. Like I'll defend the real deal, Brad Beal. I love Brad Beal. Another non-defensive player.
So, is this me last one? Did Danny just go?
This is Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant.
Yeah, this is tough. I kind of just need somebody I can plug in at any time and guard 2 through 4. So I'm just gonna go Aaron Gordon here, and I can just sub out one of these.
Fuck Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, he's not that exciting to score, but like I don't need that right now. I just need somebody who can come in and guard small forwards essentially, because I don't really think Luka can do that at an elite level. So let's throw him out there, see what happens.
I just don't like crying about like not winning the dunk contest. Like, dude, this is a dunk contest. We don't care about it anymore.
The only time I ever cared was when he was in it, though.
With Zach LaVine, that was like the last great dunk contest.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's what Gordon's saying. Gordon had a good point. Like he lost both dunk contests, and he put on like one of the craziest shows that we've seen in the last 15 years.
See,
I know it's not doesn't matter, but he got robbed.
I rewatched the Levine one. He should have won. I don't think it was like as big of a fuck up as whoever he just lost to on the Heat, Derek Jones Jr. Like that was kind of fucked up.
That's
But
what
even
I mean. Like,
dumb-
again, it doesn't matter, but he's right. He should have won 2 probably.
Probably, yeah. And like for as stupid as it is, like that really goes on your resume. Like people talk about that shit.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
that with Jordan.
And it was like that quote was taken from like somebody asking him like a day after it happened, just being like, "Will you ever be in the dunk contest again?" He's like, "Fuck that! I should have won like 2. I'm not coming back." It's plenty reasonable.
I don't blame him.
That was so typical D Wade, giving him a 9 this year. Dwayne Wade drives me up a wall.
One of my least favorite
It's
players.
always about Dwayne Wade. No matter he had like a 5-day retirement tour this year.
He still's having his retirement.
He still is, yeah.
He's a dickhead.
He was going into that judging, just saying like, how can I get the headline here?
Yeah.
Fucking did it.
And he fucking did it. Okay, let's go over the teams before we go on to some of the next segments. Kyle's team: Luka, DeAndre Ayton, John Morant, Sabonis, Trae Young, Aaron Gordon. 0 defense, but they're going to put up points. They're going to put up points. It's gonna be
I like having the fun team that'll never win anything.
There's Big 12 of NBA teams.
Yeah.
Andy, Giannis, the Joker, Donovan Mitchell, Lonzo, Justice Winslow, Lauri Markkanen. A fun team, good ball movement. I like it. Whoa, I just realized Jokic and Lonzo. That's just 2 best passers in the league right there.
Yeah.
Assists for days. Whack.
Hours.
Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Shai Gilgeous, who I wanted, dickhead. Jamal Murray, Jonathan Isaac, John Collins. Ooh, and I was planning on doing this with RJ and Shai. You have a Canadian backcourt and Shai and Jamal Murray. That's quite fun. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, they're both Canadian?
Sure are, pal. Sweet. The All-Kentucky team. Well, the first 3 picks. Cat, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Jaylen Brown, Marvin Bagley, D'Angelo Russell.
I like that team.
That's a good team, Sweet.
Yeah, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hours in 2K building rosters.
Yep.
Connor's team. Tatum, Zion, Triple J, RJ, MVP, Colin Sexton, Bam. I like my team, too. I like my team.
Good.
Do we want to shit on the old heads now?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay, so Kyle and I, and Andy too, we were talking just about, you know how NBA, it's mostly the older guys, like, today's league would never last in, like, the 90s or whatever. Like, they act like hand checking's just, like, such a fucking crush. Like, it's just, like, the end-all, be-all. And we're just sick and tired of it, and we think there's a lot of old NBA players that don't deserve the recognition they deserve, with number 1 being Wilt Chamberlain. Fuck that guy.
Yep.
Like,
It's like, dude, it's
100
funny.
points and we don't have it on record. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, nobody has it? Like, that's a joke.
For all we know, they just made up his stats. Like, his stats are actually ridiculous, but it's like he was going against, like, us every night, you know? So I would hope that because I think he averaged, like, it was like 30. He was like a 31 and 22 career average.
Here.
What?
Insane.
50 season 1 year.
Yeah, like that's insane. But again, it's literally Connor trying to guard him down in the post. So.
And then he'd play like Bill Russell and lose, but still put up like big numbers. Bill Russell, I barely care about.
He's another one.
Dude, there was this one video on Twitter, and it was literally like this grainy, like black and white, like 1950s. It was NBA footage, like it was real. In the caption was like, "This is who Bill Russell was playing against when he was racking up his rings." And it's like this scrawny white guy. He's on one leg shooting a free throw with one hand.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And there was like 8 teams in the league. It was like winning in-house basketball.
All of those Celtics teams, like the Bill Russell Celtics teams, like Kuzi,
John Havlicek.
Fuck them all. Don't care about them at all.
Havlicek's on my list.
We decided that everyone on the dream team is safe. That seems fair.
Yes.
The one thing I want to say about Wilt Chamberlain too is I don't believe he slept with 10,000 women. That number is just as inflated as all of his stats.
Like, he's such a cocksucker, just making up all these fucking lies about himself. Like, I don't blame him. do it
I
too,
do
but
get
still.
I do get mad on Twitter when I see like MJ played against plumbers and they put like a picture of John Starks up. I'm like, I fucking love John Starks. I think he was a fine player back then. Wilt Chamberlain was actually playing against real plumbers, and basketball was their part-time job. Like,
The thing
that's
about
fact.
John Starks, though, like just before he got into the NBA, he was bagging groceries. So
That's awesome.
Player on a good team.
Kurt Warner.
that is true. Kurt
Yeah.
Warner's
Him as a Knicks fan. That's like the most New York Knicks player of all time.
First basketball jersey I ever had.
Well, there you go.
Really?
Big three grocery baggers: Kurt Warner, John Starks, Andy Gianta. That's my threesome right there.
That was the best bagger in 3 counties.
Are you a better grocery bagger than the other two?
Wait, then the 2 that you just said?
Starks and Kurt Warner.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'd like to see them come to
I can see Kurt being really good at it.
I'd like to see them come to the Giant Eagle bagging competition and see how they fare. It's like, step into the lion's den. Let's see how you perform under pressure. Dude, it's crazy. Like it was at the Monroeville Giant Eagle, which is like real big, and they shut down like 10 aisles. And it's like every fucking Giant Eagle employee from all Giant Eagles around the state. Like, I'm not kidding. There's probably like 300 people there. And Bubba from the fucking radio, like, you know, Bubba from whatever station. He was like
100.7.
Yeah, he was the MC, and he's like his microphone, he's announcing and shit. And like, you step up, you get into your aisle, and it is just, you can't even hear yourself think, dude. It's chaos. Everybody is just like, there's like people behind me like, fuck you, fat ass. Like, hostile environment. And you have 2 big paper bags, and they just drop you all these groceries. And you're scored on like how quick you bag and like disperse, like the weight distribution. And dude, I was shaking. Like, I was scary.
See, I bet Kurt Warner would be good. He'd whoop everybody and be like, "Are you not entertained?" And just like stop the competition. That's
he probably would.
Yep.
I feel like everyone for the '90s, though, for the most part, is safe.
You know, I have one from the '90s that like. Maybe, and like I just want to throw this out for debate. Hopefully, maybe you guys can change my mind, but I don't think Clyde Drexler is as good as everybody says.
I disagree. He's also a Dream Team member. Dream Team members are safe.
I know, and I know we said that, but like, all right. So his career averages were 26-5, 26-5, which is like pretty good. But like, was he even that good of a shooter? And then he had to go sell out and go to the Rockets to get a championship. Like, I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way.
I don't know. Would he round out like a top 10 '90s list? Do you think? You think most people would throw?
He was more '80s than '90s. I feel like.
I mean, like I looked up a bunch of lists, and Clyde was usually like top 25.
He shot 47% from the floor. It's not bad.
That's I don't know.
Yeah. I just think
rated.
I think because the Jordan jock, it's in your head like that he was overrated back then. But like none of us really respect him that much.
Compared to Jordan, that was his problem, and like he's never Jordan.
Yeah,
right.
No one is.
Dude, even like after that series, he was still trying to make the case for himself that he was a better player than Jordan. So I don't think any of that stuff aged well at all.
I agree.
I don't think Dominique Wilkins matters that much, for being honest.
No.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up a couple lists, and he wasn't even in the top like 50.
He's just a dunker.
He's Aaron Gordon.
No, we won. Vince Carter, throw him into the mix too. Vince Carter doesn't fucking matter. He's overrated as hell.
I mean, there's something to be said for playing in the league for as long as he did. Like, he made a decision at one point in his career where he was like, I need to like figure out how to shoot the ball. And like he figured it out and he could start shooting. And like that's why he's been playing for the last 10 years or whatever. I mean, there's something noble about that, I guess. I don't know if he's an all-timer, but
he averages 16 points for his career. But granted, like the 10 years or so, he's probably been averaging like less than 10. Since he hasn't scored 10 points a game since 2013, 2014.
What do you think about Oscar Robertson?
Don't care.
I think he's one of the older players that I give credit. What's that?
I said he's empty calories. He's just all stats.
Yes.
I hate
love
how
that.
much shit that he talked on Curry, like when Curry was at his apex.
Yeah, I remember that.
Steph Curry would dribble circles around you, and then he'd shoot over you just to be funny. Like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Robertson was like an olden day Russell Westbrook kind of.
Yeah. Well, he was also one of those guys like just take him up full court, hand check him. It's like, yeah, dude, that'll stop him. That'll fucking stop him, you idiot. So, like, the hand checking thing makes me so fucking mad. It's unbelievable. It's like that's just like the ultimate defense. You fucking hand check someone, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Drives me up a wall. Sween, who do you have?
Well, just any video of Bob Cousy dribbling around one-handed is just I'm a wizard with the basketball. I was like, told me not to do that. I can dribble with my right hand all day too, but eventually you gotta go left.
Eventually. I actually have a more recent one, and this is probably going to upset the masses, but I don't really care because I think he's incredibly overrated.
I'm already pissed.
It's not Stockton. I don't like Stockton, but Stockton very much matters. I don't think white chocolate matters that much. I really don't.
That's fine. His stats suck.
Yeah,
he's so
like
cool.
good.
People lose their minds over Jason Williams, and
Dude,
He's that cool, I think. But I'm not under the assumption he's good.
I don't even know if he's that cool. I think I like Mike Bibby more. The Kings won that trade.
Dude, if you watch one of Jason Williams' highlight reel videos, you cannot deny that like some of the passes and shit that he makes are awesome.
Huh?
Yeah, like I'm saying that, like I agree that he wasn't that good of a player. He wasn't, but like his highlight films are fucking awesome. Like he makes some of the coolest plays ever in NBA.
Crazy.
I mean, yeah, he's got some cool passes, but like I don't like how people like cum themselves over Jason Williams. Like, great, he makes a couple cool passes. He also shoots like 10% from the floor. Congrats. Not impressed.
Probably meth too.
Yeah, probably did meth too. To his credit, has a ring though. Have to give him that. Has a ring.
With who?
How do you feel? So
6.
Okay.
So my cutoff's 1975. So any sports before then don't count. So I'm throwing everything Bill Russell did out of there. But one that I kind of sneaky like that was like super old. I don't know how good he actually was, but like I think his highlights are actually kind of cool. And I looked it up. He's shooting 70% from three for his career. He probably didn't have that many. But how do you guys feel about Pete Maravich?
Pistol Pete's cool.
I like Pistol Pete.
The Pistol Pete nickname alone is cool as fuck.
I just feel like he was super old, but I feel like he was kind of doing like 90s modernish dribble moves like way before anybody actually was. So I'm a big fan of his.
He paved the way for Jason Williams, but Jason Williams wasn't cool, so
right.
Pistol Pete's not cool either, right, Connor?
Jason Williams wasn't even a quarter of the player fucking Pistol Pete was. Give me a fucking break. Pistol Pete could score. I bet Jason Williams never averaged 10 assists in a season in his career.
I'm pretty sure he only made one All-Star game, Jason Williams.
No, he
did. Made one.
I'd be shocked if he even made one.
No, that behind that elbow pass, that was an All-Star game.
Oh.
Yep.
Connor, I'm not saying that Jason Williams is a good player. I'm saying that the fact that you can't acknowledge his highlight films are incredible, then that's just wrong.
I knew it. Never averaged 10 assists in a season. He's a fraud.
What did he have?
That's pretty hard to do. Like,
I bet never.
If he's this great passer, he averages 10 assists a season.
I'm not saying that he's a good player. I'm just talking about strictly his highlight film of like his best plays is fucking awesome. That's what people cream over. That's what's cool.
It's cool, but I feel like those highlight videos, like people like put him in like this better level of player than he is, and I'm not going to fall for it. You won't fool me.
He shot under 40% for his career.
That's terrible. That's fucking awful.
It's terrible.
Thank you, Kyle.
And I don't agree. I just can't stand that you don't think he's cool. That's the dumbest thing.
Like, I'm not like you keep saying you're like trying to say that I'm saying he's good. I'm not. I agree that people who say he is good are wrong, but his fucking YouTube videos are awesome, and he's just a cool dude. That's why people like him. What's so hard to fucking get?
And as a Randy Moss guy, you should respect him more.
Because people overrate him. Like, I want to say he's cool. I just get annoyed by like the super fans. That's all. I don't think he deserves super fans.
I don't think I've ever met a Jason Williams super fan.
This is just, you're generalizing people that don't even exist.
I'll tell you what actually set me off on Jason Williams.
It was probably Luke McHugh tweeting about him.
Even worse. I don't want to say the person out loud because they're like one of the few people that watches the show, and they'll message me about it. I'll tell you on
the core.
No, I'll text you on the side, Andy. All right, I'll admit I'm wrong about Jason Williams. You made good points. I'll tell you who it was later. Moving on though, and I stole this from Bill Simmons. It's the greatest what ifs in NBA history.
Fun.
Good.
A lot of them have to do with Oklahoma City, so we're just gonna set those aside for now.
Sure.
I like with the what ifs as well as like talking points on each. We'll go with the first one. Derrick Rose. If he doesn't get hurt, do they ever get past LeBron in Miami? See, I disagree, but we'll get to there.
3 championships.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
That's crazy. No,
I think they win that series that he got hurt.
I think that team is like sneaky, like really well constructed, really well put together, and the Cavaliers just weren't a good team like back then. Right. Or was this Heat era?
Yeah, I think
it was both. It was both.
Right, it was right at that cut.
That good. I mean, the Bulls were good, and LeBron was LeBron, but from top to bottom, those Chicago teams had better rosters.
Yes.
What was the series that D-Rose got hurt? That was the conference finals, right? The first one.
First round.
Yeah, that was first round
against Philly. It was the lockout year, 2012, the year after he won MVP. It was game 1. They were up like 20 points, and Tibbs just kept them in the game late like a dumbass.
Tibbs never subbed anyone. Luol Deng led the league in minutes for like 6
years. Yeah. See,
poor Luol. He was so good for a while too, and he just got run. All those teams just got run into the ground eventually, while picking up the slack from Derrick Rose being hurt all the time. If he was there, I think 3 is ridiculous. I'm just being hyperbolic, but I think they would have won 1 genuinely.
I think you would have set if you had a healthy Derrick Rose. I think you would have set the over under at 1.
Yeah.
See, my only thing kind of pushing it back against that was the year he won MVP 2011 when they met Miami in the East Finals. They won game 1. Then LeBron was like, I'm covering you and taking you out of the rest of the series. And then Miami just smoked them in 5. And I just think that LeBron would just put the clamps on them. And I don't know. I just don't know if – I guess Jimmy Butler came along eventually, but –
I think that's the big thing too, is like they never really got to play together when they were both sick. And if Jimmy Butler developed into what he is today with him there, that's kind of like not, of course, it's like B- Pippen and Jordan again with that front court just being awesome.
Well, you remember they like hated each other.
That's true too.
They did hate each other.
I think Jimmy just hates everybody.
Yeah, Jimmy, I think he's
tough.
Joakim Noah, super overrated.
Agreed.
I'm fine with that.
Great.
Would he have gotten any more MVPs, Derrick Rose? I say no, but just because winning MVP is hard as fuck.
No.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He was hot.
And what do you think, like, his career trajectory would have looked like? I probably say he has a very Russell Westbrook-y career, which is, like, Hall of Fame. It's awesome. But
one MVP and one championship. I mean, what is that? I mean, that.
See, I don't know if he gets the championship though. I personally don't think they get past LeBron ever. Like and look, I hate LeBron, but he's a lot better than Derrick Rose, unfortunately, which is disappointing.
Oh man, his career is such a bummer. Just looking at his year-to-year
It is
stats.
such a bummer, man. I love Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Rose versus Kyrie. So Kyrie's got the ring. Derrick Rose got the MVP. Whose crew are you taking there?
That's a good question.
Kyrie's not the guy. Derrick Rose was at least the guy.
I think the way things have transpired, it's like we feel bad for Derrick Rose as it is now, and everybody just hates Kyrie.
They both got fucking paid, so it's not like Derrick Rose is hurting for money, which is good. You like to see the guys get their money. Plus, Adidas gave him a stupid contract, like close to $200 million. So shout out Derrick Rose there.
Derrick Rose is still doing fine in the NBA. Like, I'm pretty sure he signed the 1-year deal with the Pistons for like $18 million or something. Like,
he had a good. He was like borderline All-Star this year.
Yeah,
he shot 49%. 18 points back-to-back these past 2 years.
That's really good.
I mean, for a guy that he was probably coming off the bench most of the time, but that's...
I'd probably take Kyrie's career.
And now he's shooting threes at like 35% these past 2 years too, which is way better than he ever was. He can. I like that he's still alive.
Like
yeah,
I don't.
That is good.
Who do you take, Swain?
I just don't like Kyrie. I think his handles are nasty, but
his handles are disgusting.
Because that's a tease, that's a baller move. So I'm going to go Derrick Rose.
You know what? We'll go back to the what ifs because I actually have a who would you rather have between two players? And Swain, that was yours that you added. So I'm just gonna jump into these real quick. Cat or Bam?
Who do I want right now?
Right now.
I think Cat.
Yeah.
Bam's just in a better situation.
That's true. That is true.
Dude,
he's
a disgusting offensive player. Like, I mean, they're so shitty that no one really talks about him, but like his offensive numbers are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They are stupid.
Bam's like that awesome like secondary player, and Cat is the superstar. That's kind of just the difference there.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all in on Cat.
Yeah.
Embiid or Joker?
Joker.
Don't even. I mean, come on.
I hate Embiid, but he's good.
You shouldn't have to think about that one.
I think injury concerns swing it to Jokic, but if they're both healthy,
it's just more fun too. Like Embiid tries to be like the fun guy, but Jokic actually like is fun.
And that's why, because Jokic doesn't try. That's just who he is. He's goofy.
We're going to Sween's team now, the Kentucky boys. De'Aaron Fox or Devin Booker? Eileen Fox.
Yeah.
Kind of do too.
I think it's tougher. I think it's tougher to quantify because Fox is so much better defensively, and Booker will never be. But I think Booker like can be the best scorer on like a really good team if you get some people around him.
Yeah, I mean he would be like if he would be your ideal number 2 guy. Like if you had someone else who could run an offense, you can keep Book, just keep him outside, just set him in a corner, whatever. It's like kind of like a
Clay
and roll.
Yeah,
just
like his usage.
We're gonna get you shots.
Clay might play a little better defense, but
much better.
I think Fox cares more than Booker. I kind of don't think Booker really gives a shit. Like, he just likes getting buckets, and that's really it. Like, De'Aaron Fox, I feel like
banging porn stars
pisses him off when he loses and shit. And he's going to do a lot more losing if he stays with the Kings. But I hope he turns it around. All right, next tandem. The Battle of the Rookie of the Year in 2018. Ben Simmons or Donovan Mitchell?
Ben.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, we have a disagreement. I like it. I actually don't really know. I'm going.
That's tough. I think, like we talked about Ben earlier, if he was in an offense that was similar to the Bucks, catered around him, like in that form, then he would be so much better. He's still pretty good as he is, but
And he could also be Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't want to say Ben Simmons, but it is so
Yeah.
frustrating that his jump shot just has not improved whatsoever.
It's,
Like that
if
drives
you're,
the
if
wall.
you're able to build the team around him, Ben Simmons. If it's plug into any current NBA team, Donovan Mitchell is better.
I'll go Ben Simmons, I
I think
guess.
Ben Simmons is a beta, and I think Donovan Mitchell is an alpha.
That's swayed me.
That's true.
Donovan Mitchell, future New York Knick. The rhyming point guards now. Trey versus Shea. Trey Young versus Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's an easy one for me. Shea all the fucking way.
I'm
It's,
so out on Trey Young. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, he could get really good, but
So out on Trey Young. He's ugly. He's ugly. He's just ugly. I can't deal with
is Trey the biggest empty stats guy right now?
he's got to be.
yeah.
His
Devin
numbers
Booker
are
was like
insane.
right.
If you
Devin
look at his
Booker was
box
like
score,
right.
See,
you're like, holy
see,
shit,
I think
he's
Devin
ball.
Booker could do those same stats on a good team. I don't think Trey Young could do what he's doing on anything remotely resembling a playoff team.
I mean, he's so young, to be fair, but I mean, right now, it's like I don't care if you're averaging 30 and 12. Like you won like 14 games or something in the East.
They're like worse than the Knicks.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Sweet Brad Beal's got some pretty empty stats, unfortunately. And I love Brad Beal.
Yeah, the Wizards
Bradley Beal.
this year. The Wizards, yeah, that was hard.
Do
to
we
watch.
want John Wall back?
I do want John Wall back.
I agree, dude. I don't know why we're all writing John Wall
I
off.
love John Wall.
Coming back better than ever. Got some bone spurs removed. He's coming back.
I
Yep.
know.
Taking James Wiseman. We're going to get the 5 seed.
Oh.
You want Wiseman. That's who we want in the D.C. area.
If we can't get Anthony Edwards, I want Wiseman. And
Oh.
I think Edwards is going 1-1. So if we don't win the lottery, I don't get why people are still out on all bigs. Like, there can be impact.
I agree. Don't be out on bigs. There's still a place for them in the league. Andy,
Yeah.
you bigs hater.
No way.
All right, now we have a couple more. We're going to the old school matchups now. Steve Nash or Jason Kidd.
Nash.
It's funny you mentioned this because I was looking at Nash's career stats and they really weren't as good as I expected them to be.
Same.
Like in his prime when he was winning MVPs, he was
I didn't
averaging
think
like
he was
8. It was 18 and 11, like back to back years.
Ran
One
those
second.
offenses though.
He did.
Like,
He was, like-
everything went through him.
Yeah. But I
And his efficiency numbers are pretty crazy, too. Like, he didn't... Let's see, he's 43% from 3 for his career. That's pretty fucking good.
He's one of those guys. If he was just like 4 years younger, and like he was in the NBA when he could have been taking 10 threes a game, 12 threes a game. Like I think he would be better today. Like he just came at like a kind of a weird time.
yeah.
You know, like the three was not, nearly as emphasized. Whatever it was 15 years ago.
Yep.
He could
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Out west.
'cause-
Versus Kidd went to those finals with the Nets. If you flip Steve Nash and Jason Kidd, I think Nash could have gotten to a final.
They also got screwed against the Spurs the one
Right.
year. Robert Horry, like, fucking decked him into the side.
I mean, every year
Oh, wow.
Nash was running into the Kobe Lakers or the Duncan Spurs, and that's why he wasn't.
Yeah.
winning.
That's who Kidd went up against in the finals, though, with the Nets. I mean, he got one with the Mavs on that special Dirk team taking down Miami. I guess I take Nash because Jason Kidd beat his wife, and that's probably not a good thing.
That's a bad look. Yeah.
Apparently, though,
Big Nash, but it's
Some
close.
Phillies, too.
they were, I guess after that came out, the domestic abuse claims came out. Like the next game he played, Jason Kidd, like the opposing fans were wearing wife beaters to the game.
Yeah. It's been bought.
I missed those days.
Probably can't do that nowadays. All right, here's another fun one: Duncan or Shaq?
Shaq.
Bad.
I'm taking Timmy D, man. Timmy D is the fucking man.
I'm a big Tim Duncan was a beneficiary of being on a great team as well as being a
Oh, I
great.
don't agree with that.
That is false.
Great team.
And I'm not saying like he's not a top 15 player, but like
Top 15. That is like
He's like
he
a
is
top
top
7.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
not
better than
top.
Kobe in my opinion.
a lot better.
I'd pick
Kobe.
Timmy over Kobe. Yeah.
Easy. I think a lot of people.
I just think
over
Shaq
Kobe.
in his
R.I.P.
prime was just one of the most dominant athletes.
If not the most.
Yeah. I like Shaq way more.
That's fine. Look, I'm not hating on the Shaq pick. I'm a Duncan guy. Timmer. Iverson or Westbrook?
Oh,
That's a good one.
that is a good one.
I'm not a big Westbrook guy. Never have been. They're very similar. Where like, oh, man.
Iverson's way fucking cooler. Iverson's maybe like the coolest
Yeah.
player in league history.
Yeah.
But I think
I'll
I go Russ.
Really?
Just-
I think I go Iverson.
I think Iverson had the higher highs, but Westbrook just the longevity, I guess. Man, I don't know. Iverson's so fucking cool.
His poor Sixers team to the finals was fucking awesome.
That team
Yeah,
sucked.
he had no Eric Snow and McKee.
Kyle
Eric
Korver.
McKee.
He had Dikembe. No.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah, when he was like
Dikembe.
35.
He was like 52 on that team.
Yeah,
Like, if we want to
somebody put up
Allen Iverson's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
somebody put up that old Sixers logo in black and white and was just like, "What's the first thing you think of when you see it?" And like the most liked response was Eric Snow, and that's exactly who I think.
Fucking
I always think
Does Allen Iverson have the coolest nickname in NBA history? Is the answer the best?
I think the truth's pretty cool.
The truth
Yeah.
is
The answer is awesome. Man,
Yeah,
That was-
I like me.
Too.
the answer's so cool.
I
Birdman, Anderson.
hate Karl Malone. I kind of like the mailman.
man is
Me
good.
too.
Like, you want to talk about piece of shit. Karl Malone's the biggest piece of shit ever, but the mailman's a cool ass nickname.
The Greek freak has some traction too.
Yeah.
It's so much easier than saying his name, which helps.
I kind of like the glove, Gary Payton.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like how Gary Payton
Dude.
thought he was in Jordan's head. Like,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan is laughing maniacally at him. It's like, no, dude, you weren't fucking close at all.
I like the big galoot. Do people actually call Jokic that, or did I make that up?
I've never heard that.
I don't think
I'm
but
here.
people should.
I didn't know I made that. I just thought like maybe I just saw somebody call him that on Twitter, and I was like, "That's hilarious."
Jimmy calls everyone the big glue.
See, maybe that's who it was. Well, that's my nickname for Jokic, and I like it.
George Gervin didn't matter, but the Iceman's a cool nickname too.
Iceman's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I can't decide between the answer or the truth. Those are both cool as fuck.
I think I'm going the answer.
I think so, just because he was cooler than Paul Pierce shit himself. I think I gotta.
Speaking of Paul Pierce or Melo?
Ooh.
Probably.
better, but Paul Pierce got the ring.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He did get the
There's
ring.
like different stages of Melo too.
People forget Nuggets Melo like kind of went toe to toe with LeBron and didn't exactly lose that second year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going prime Melo versus prime Pierce, you'd probably go Melo, right? But
I
if
think
you're talking
so.
about a career,
I think so.
He-
Melo's had
Um,
a career though.
I think he just like in New York he just fell in love with the jumper, but if you put him at like power forward, and he has like some of the sneakiest like low post moves like I've ever seen. If he did more of that,
he can bang
Which is
that.
the problem. Last two. Stockton or CP3? I hate
I don't think it's
both never won anything.
hate
I
them
don't
both.
think it's close. I think you gotta go CP3.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I love Stockton as much as anyone, but
That's your
I-
guy.
CP3's had just a really good career.
Swain.
I just watched both of them, and then I'm like, how are they good?
Yeah.
Best of all time.
Seriously.
I watch them, and you're like, cool, yeah, you're there. But I don't know.
And then,
I don't know.
I think so.
And now this is the last one, and it's a fun one. Ray Allen or Klay Thompson?
Clay.
Right.
I guess it's not that fun. I'd like to add Klay into the coolest player, like the coolest player mix. Klay Thompson's cool as shit.
I don't know, man. Ray Allen's pretty cool.
I'm not Ray Allen's not cool. I just think Klay Thompson, like, I could go like smoke weed with Klay Thompson like right now, and he'd be cool.
I feel like people forget how good Ray Allen was back in the day. Let me see.
I mean, clearly you all do because you all picked Klay. I'm taking Ray Allen.
Well, I mean,
my apologies.
I didn't pick. I don't know.
As a defense.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, Klay is so good on defense.
Dude, Ray Allen averaged 20 points for 10 years, like several in the 25s. It's pretty dope.
Like when you forget, like the thing with Klay is that not only is he scoring and shooting the way he does, but every time he's on defense, he's on their opponent's best player.
Yeah,
always.
And he just doesn't have an ego, which I respect. Like he can accept his role as being like the second, third best player on his team. He doesn't care. He just goes out, does his thing, and wins championships.
And it kind of weirdly seems like half the time he is the guy who just like absolutely takes over like a major playoff game. Like, I mean, there's Game 6 versus the Thunder, of course, but there's several other times.
We're gonna get into that game.
Okay, that's like the coolest game I've ever seen live.
Dude, I mean, last year I talked about that game where Steph had 33 in the second half. Like Klay hit monstrous shots down the stretch of that one too.
Yeah. He might be one of the sneakiest ice in his veins guy right up there with Ray Allen, even though Ray Allen is the ice in the veins guy.
Reggie Miller.
Oh, fuck Reggie Miller.
I love Reggie Miller.
I used to really like Reggie Miller, but like as I got older, his stats like aren't that great.
No, but if you put him in today and just average, like he was only shooting 4 threes a game, and he was still the best like 3 shooter for his time.
Whatever, fuck him. But let's jump to that game you're talking about, Kyle, because this goes into the what ifs I have. So if OKC doesn't lose to that Warriors game, do they beat the Cavs in the finals? I think I lean yes. And if so, does LeBron stay in Cleveland?
No.
I think LeBron stays in Cleveland. I don't think he could
I agree. Yeah, like he's kind of handcuffed.
Yeah. I think he went back when he left Miami, when he went to Cleveland. In his mind, he couldn't do anything until he won a ring there. He couldn't leave again. It was such a bad look the first time. I don't think.
Would have been so funny if he left without getting him a title.
Would happier as LeBron hater.
Would KD have stayed too?
Yeah, I think he would have. If they both of them. If they won a championship, that's pretty much been the whole deal this whole time, was he needed that to validate himself. If he would have got one, I think he's a lot more secure in himself and stays.
He acts like he was like leaving from the start of the season. I think if they win, he stays, eventually leaves, but stays for at least like a year or two more.
I think he's gone regardless. He's a weird fucking guy, man.
I think so too.
Oh, all right. I like it. And okay. So I guess kind of answer my next question. Do the Warriors win any more titles? Like assuming if they win, if they win the title that year, I assume he's not going to Golden State. So do you think Golden State gets any more titles of just like the original team they had? I bet they could get at least one.
I think so.
Yeah.
If
they're going to win another one next year,
someone else.
I agree.
I got a what if.
Let's hear it.
Would the Rockets have been better off if they picked Harden over Westbrook and you had Harden and KD?
That's actually one of the ones I have on here too. Okay. Like the points I have.
I think
KD
season happened, it was an easy Westbrook. But like now I'm kind of thinking like if Harden and Durant were together now, if they'd be better off.
Yeah, I hate Westbrook.
So do we think they win a title, the two of them together?
Yeah.
I do. I think there was. I don't think there was a lot stopping Kevin Durant from winning one title in his career. He was going. That was an inevitability.
At the same time, though, Harden chokes in the playoffs, left and right.
As the primary scorer and
even like that finals against the Heat, he sucked.
Oh,
true. He did.
When you think about like if you were building a team, would anyone want James Harden on that team?
No.
You know, like he's an awesome player, but like, if you're really building a team, do you want him a part of it?
Nah.
I don't know.
Probably not. I don't think I want him or Westbrook.
How many number one guys do we think are in the league right now? Like I guess Harden's like a one, but not like a guy you want as your championship one. I think it's like LeBron, assuming Durant comes back healthy.
Steph.
Why?
Steph.
Greek Freak.
Greek Freak.
That might be it.
Yeah, like there's not many. Like AD, no, and I love Anthony Davis, but like he didn't do it in New Orleans. Granted, like team around him kind of sucked.
What about Damian?
Yeah.
What about who?
Damian Lillard.
Same.
I'd consider Lillard, but they haven't really.
I just think the West is way too fucking tough, and I would.
That's what it is. I think Dame Lillard could take an Eastern Conference team to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple times.
I would love to see Dame win a title, man. I fucking love.
He's the best.
Dude, I loved when he hit the shot against the Thunder and waved, and just like it ended the Thunder.
He's like one of the most alpha guys in the league, to use Sweeney's terminology. He's really fucking cool.
Probably the coolest player. Like honestly, he is probably the coolest player in the NBA.
He's terrible at rapping. He's so cool, no one will tell him to his face.
I don't even think he's terrible at rapping. I think
he's not actually that terrible.
He's like okay. But anyways, I just want to get my quick points for if they traded Russ instead of Harden. So do we think they win a title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does KD still leave?
Yes.
Not if they win a title, I don't think. Maybe eventually, but not when he did.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I think I misunderstood your question before. I don't know if he leaves or stays.
I think him failing to win the title in OKC is what made him super fucking weird.
I feel like how they blew the series to the Thunder, too. Like, that's got to be fucking scarring.
Yeah.
And my last point, so assuming KD does leave, do you think that they try and do the, the Paul George type trade for Harden? And, does that end the same way that the Russ era ended in OKC? Or, do you think, assuming, let's say they bring in PG, do you think Harden and PG, that's a better tandem than Russ and Paul George?
Yeah.
I just don't think Russ is as good as people as it's made out to be.
Yeah.
Ripped rebounds down from his own big man and just dribbles out the whole clock and throws it to someone they shoot. He gets an assist. I just don't think he's that good. And he's fake tough, just like Draymond.
He's one of the,
he is fake tough. He is actually fake tough.
Fake tough.
And I hate the rock the baby thing. Am I allowed to hate that, or is that cool?
Yeah, I don't. He does it like he hits a very short two over a not good player and rocks the baby. I'm just fucking congrats, man. I'm so impressed. And I guess now just the biggest what if OKC doesn't win Harden, they're winning titles. How many? I think 2.
They
minimum.
Keep all 3 of them.
Yeah. That was the biggest panic trade in league history.
Yeah. It was for Kevin Martin.
Yeah.
And the pick they used on Sam Adams.
Steven Adams, yeah.
Steven Adams, sorry.
Sam Adams is your favorite
rapper.
Forefather of this country.
Rapper.
Yes and yes.
Sammy Adams. He came to UPJ one year.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, let's say that they don't trade Harden. Do the Warriors ever happen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I think
the Warriors.
What do you think's better? Durant, a trio of Durant, Westbrook, Harden, or Steph, Clay, and Draymond?
I think the Warriors would have beat that core I do. I think
I do too.
they're a better coach. They had a better all-around team, and I don't know. I probably would want Steph over.
Both Harden and Westbrook.
Okay,
Yeah.
think about it. You go like KD's the best of those players. Then it goes Steph.
Then Clay.
I think Harden's better than Clay.
Yeah, but
I
who would
think-
you rather have? I'd
I'd rather have
Clay.
Clay though. Just he guards, like Wag said, he guards the best defensive player, and Harden is a fucking turnstile. That matters in the finals.
All right, so then goes Clay.
And I don't think it's a given. I'm not going to make the argument, but I don't think it's a given that if you're building a team, you need Durant over Steph.
Right.
I don't think I disagree with that.
Yeah, Steph won one without him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
And
did.
he's gonna win another one next year without him.
I think Durant's just significantly more special of a talent.
I don't think there's anybody that can guard Durant. Like the only LeBron's never been able to really figure out, like when they go up against each other, of course.
Yeah.
And then
Just like, I mean, he's a freak to be like that tall and be able to handle the ball and shoot and be quick. Like, it's just an anomaly.
yeah. If the Bucks decide like, hey, we're gonna put Giannis on Curry tonight, Curry's gonna have problems. If they put Giannis on Durant, Durant can give him business still.
No one can guard him. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
I have unanswerable questions now. Another Simmons term. Can we get into these? Like, am I boring all of you?
Not
at
like
all.
it.
Okay. So what do you... I guess this also could maybe sort of been a what-if, but whatever. And I came up with this one today. So what would have been the better outcome for the Celtics in 2007 if they would have won the lottery and taken Durant, or just what did happen with them? They get KG, Ray Allen, and Pierce. So you get Kevin Durant for like his pretty much most of his prime, and it's KD, Pierce, Rondo, or Pierce, KG, Ray Allen for like the 4 or 5 years. Like, so you have one guaranteed title, but then
I think
who
you
knows
go
what
that
happens.
route.
Do you want the one? You don't want Kevin Durant for the entirety of his prime in the East, the weak East.
Well, when they won it, like you had those guys all at the peaks of their powers, basically. KG.
They won it the year they made the trades.
Right. So, like, you figure, I don't know, those first 4 or 5 years with KD, I mean, it's really hard for a superstar to propel to, like, the finals level type in the first 4 or 5 years of a career. And what I keep thinking about with KD is, I don't know, I just read that there was, like, a book that came out, like that, there was, like, a Warriors book that came out. It was mostly around KD. It might be biased from that, but
I heard about this.
he's just not happy anywhere, and I don't think he'll just keep traveling around the league. Like, I don't think any team who drafted him would have locked him up for his career. I think he's just gonna bounce around.
Those Celtics would also have Big Al Jefferson because he was traded for Garnett.
I love Big Al.
Me too.
I fucking love Big Al.
He came a decade too late. Like
He did.
He
It's
did.
sad.
like
Yeah.
90s guy.
Oh yeah, he would feast down
You know,
there.
if I remember
He was so good in fantasy a couple years too.
the 2 trades that they made for Ray Allen and KG, I feel like they did not give up that much either. Like, for Ray Allen, they gave up the 5th pick, which was Jeff Green. I'll take fucking Ray Allen.
Yeah.
And KG was like Big Al and like a couple other pieces that
Wasn't
were
it like Al Heron? No. Who's-
What if the
The
Sonics
KG.
would have kept Ray Allen with Durant?
Oh, that is shooting tandem.
Oh man. So the trade was Garnett for Al Jefferson, Sebastian Telfair, Gerald Green, Theo Ratliff, Cash, and then the pick that turned into Jeff Green.
It was top
That's it.
3 protected pick. Yeah, that's highway robbery.
They actually did the here's all the players we don't want, give us your best one trade.
KG get you one defensive player of the year that year too to go along with the finals.
Who did?
KG did.
Yeah.
What a fucking joke. God, that makes me like. I'm glad I like those Celtics teams, but fucking be smarter, Timberwolves. All right, too soon to answer now. This could be a little hot takey, but fuck it, I don't care. Will the Clippers regret their Paul George trade and vice versa with the Lakers and the AD trade?
Wow.
Like, just with everything they gave up, and like if they don't win a title, they're fucked.
That's a tough one, Connor. It sucks because we should be watching this play out right now and see if the Clippers.
We'll be watching in July. We'll be watching in July. Knock on wood. I feel like Clippers maybe more so because I think AD's re-signing with the Lakers. LeBron's not going to let him go anywhere else. I think like Paul George and Kawhi could like. I don't think they'll leave after next year, but there's the possibility.
Right. They didn't sign those 2-year contracts for nothing, you know.
Yeah, like
possibility.
Yep.
I think the Clippers gave up more picks too for Paul George.
Dude, what did they get? It was like 8. How many first rounders was it? Like it was obscene.
Dude, but the thing is,
4.
this was also what the Lakers picked too. They're like down the road too.
I mean, this is what happens wherever LeBron goes. He decimates his team's assets everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere he leaves, when he leaves that team, they're in ruins.
Because you have to try to build around him to win right now.
Right.
Dude, think about like besides just the draft picks, like they gave up Brandon Ingram, All-Star this year, Lonzo, like a starting point guard with the Clippers. They gave up Shea, who's probably going to be an All-Star next year. I don't know, like I think if I'm the Clippers, like think if they just had Shea and Kawhi, that is an awesome fucking 1-2.
I think the Lakers trade was worse than the Lakers than the Clippers trade was for the Clippers. Because, I mean, first-round picks, if you're that good, they really don't matter. I mean, after pick 15, it's just a fucking crapshoot anyway. And if they gave up 6 bottom 16 picks, who gives a shit?
And the other thing is you have to do it. Like, what's the price?
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to do it. Because that's how they got – yeah, that's how they got Kawhi. Like, Kawhi's not going there. All right, I have 2 more. You guys are going to laugh at me for this one, but I don't care. And it's a homer one.
RJ Barrett. See, better than Michael Jordan.
We know that's true. Is there a chance that the Knicks are in better position to succeed going forward than the Spurs? And hear me out before we laugh.
Absolutely.
Okay. Like, yeah, ownership, front office, Spurs have. No fucking doubt. The Knicks have better assets than the Spurs do right now, and I don't even think that's particularly close. Like, what young players on the Spurs are better than, like, RJ and Mitch? Or at least, like, are viewed in, like, higher regards?
Yeah, that was a discouraging year for the Spurs.
Who?
Like, their prospects.
DeJounte Murray.
I mean, I think him and RJ are, like, very comparable.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And Murray just signed that new contract too. Plus, the Knicks have, I think, like 7 first-round picks in the next 4 years. I just think the Spurs are about to like be dwelling in mediocrity for a while.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you'd rather be the Knicks rebuilding than the Spurs stuck at the 9th seed for however long they have the worst, emptiest player of all time, DeMar DeRozan.
And plus, Pop's going to retire soon, I bet. Like, he's not. There's no way he's in it for the long haul. He's trying to stick around for a rebuild.
Right.
I knew it wasn't that fucking crazy.
It's not. I probably would rather be the Knicks than the Spurs right now.
All right. Now, what was the better trade? The last one. Or which will end up being the better trade? The Raptors getting Kawhi or the Celtics getting all the assets from the Nets and end up getting, like, Tatum and Brown.
Ooh.
I think Kawhi. I don't think the Celtics are going to get a ring.
That's the thing. Yeah, the Raptors already got their ring. It worked.
Right.
It did.
It's just like, yeah. I'm just super high on the tandem of Tatum and Brown. Like, I think they're gonna get a title at some point.
I think they're get broken up.
No fucking dude. Brown just signed a long-term deal, and Tatum will probably sign a big deal soon. What's your beef with the Celtics, Sweeney? What the fuck, man?
I'm a kids guy, so
I don't like the Celtics at all. I just don't like them. I hate Boston. I know every person in those arenas is also a Patriots fan. I just can't do it.
It's true.
And it's wild, too. It's just like I like a lot of their players, but even if I'm thinking of them as all the best versions of themselves, I still don't think that team's good enough to really win a title.
They're so young.
Here's the thing.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are on the same team when Jaylen Brown's like 29 and Tatum's like 27, at the peak of their careers. Who knows? I mean, they might be that good.
It's very true.
Okay. Just quick segment. Players we wish won titles. My list includes Carmelo Anthony, Steve Nash, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, R.J. Barrett, Russell Westbrook, Allen Iverson, Damian Lillard.
Let's see.
Barkley's the top of my list.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Stockton's on my list. But not Karl Malone. Fuck Karl Malone.
Not Karl Malone.
It would have been cool if Iverson got one. Like,
Yeah.
if he won the Lakers one, that would have been fucking awesome.
I was cheering for Iverson there.
The step over is like one of the most iconic moments in NBA history.
Yeah.
It's over like that dickhead Ty Lue. Then they just proceeded to get their dicks kicked in the next 4 games.
Yep.
Was unfortunate, but it happens. That was like the only team I was rooting for against the Lakers. Like Pacers, I remember rooting for the Lakers. Iverson was cool, but like the Nets were fuck the Nets. Who cares?
I wish the Grizzlies could have got one when they had like Conley, Zebo.
Great try. That's a good one.
I was really happy that Gasol got one with the Raptors.
Yeah, I was happy with that too.
I would have loved Zebo and Conley and the grind father, Tony Allen.
Tony Allen does have one, but not with the Grizz.
Does.
He was on the 08 Celtics.
Oh, that's right.
I like those. I think those early 2000s Sacramento teams were fun.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Well, they should have had one. They got fucked by the refs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good one. I wish they would have won.
Yeah, I feel like people wouldn't view C-Web as kind of like a piece of shit. Like, people hate Chris Webber when it's disappointing. I like Chris Webber.
I like Chris
Sucks
Webber.
at announcing.
I think he's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have too many issues with, like, announcers except for, like, Reggie Miller.
I like Reggie.
I like Reggie. I hate Bill Walton.
Oh, go to hell, man. Dude, just call him late night Pac-12. Pac-12 after dark. He's just in his own world.
Like, could you imagine being the play-by-play guy with him?
Oh, it's probably frustrating as all
Got to
hell.
babysit him
Oh,
for 2 hours.
I'm not going for like in-depth analysis. I'm just like, Bill Walton, take me away on this fucking shitty-ass Pac-12 game. Washington State versus fucking UCLA.
I always wish the early Cavs would have won so Zydrunas Ilgauskas could have got one.
Big Z.
You a big Z fan, Andy.
No, I don't know. Just a random name, but I liked him. He was goofy. I was thinking about the team. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish your thought. Mine's not important. Carry on.
The team that makes me the happiest that they ended up getting a ring is the 04 whatever Pistons.
Yeah, that's
like
fuck.
the most feel-good story ever.
Just a bunch of grinders.
Yeah.
The one that I think should have won specifically for Steve Nash was that Suns team with Joe Johnson, Amari Stoudemire, Quentin Richardson, Sean Marion. I think that team was so fucking good.
They were stacked.
I wanted the 06 Mavs to beat the Heat because I wanted Stackhouse to get one. I love Jerry Stackhouse.
Love Jerry Stackhouse.
Big Jerry Stackhouse guy.
And another one that I was really happy was the Mavs when they took down the Heat.
I mean,
Who didn't want the Mavs to win that?
The entire universe was rooting for the fucking Mavs. No one was rooting. Like Dirk put us all on his back to win that title. was awesome. It was
To
great.
see Dirk and Kidd get one that was great.
JJ Barea.
Yeah.
He's guarding LeBron.
And
That
Kill.
was okay. So just a real quick tangent is like the MJ and LeBron debate. Is I think it's as simple as MJ never had a Mavs series. He just never did.
He would. I think that's a
The
debate too.
argument has to go any further.
He would never let anybody remotely like JJ Barea do anything that to him.
He's also not a douche.
I think that's the big thing too. Is I think Jordan's so much cooler, and I think that kind of matters.
Fuck, he's so cool.
Jordan keeps pulling these one-liners out of his ass, and every time it's the coolest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
Yeah.
LeBron can't do anything as cool as just like having iPad like video reactions. Like those are fucking awesome. They're great. I loved all of them. I could watch that for hours. It's just him just like watching iPad videos of like players saying, "Oh, I could take them. I could take Jordan." MJ's just laughing in their face.
Yeah.
Fuck Isaiah Thomas, by the way. We've established that on a previous show, but like he's a little bitch.
He's so good though. I really think he is.
What was that, Swain?
Most disingenuous guy on earth.
The most like he like cries poor like I don't know why it wasn't on the dream team. It's like because you're an asshole, like you're a dick.
Nobody liked you.
Right.
Yeah, like besides just MJ, like apparently his whole thing with Magic, like they were boys, but then when Magic got AIDS, Isaiah was like, oh, I think he's gay. Like, kind of not a great thing to say, man.
And that's the thing too. It's Russillo made that point where Isaiah like feels slighted because they don't talk about him like Magic, Bird, and Jordan, and it's because they're all better than you, dude. That's why.
Yeah. I want to like those bad boy Piston teams more because like I just liked how they were just like grimy scumbags. They're gonna take a baseball bat to your face so you come in the pain. But like Isaiah is like you said, Swing, he's just so disingenuous. Like he tries to act like he's this good guy. I just wish he'd embrace being just the piece of shit that he is. I say that non-racially, like a scumbag, for the record, so people don't jump down my throat.
Joe Dumars also significantly overrated. He's not a Hall of Famer.
No chance. I do like Bill Laimbeer.
I love Bill Laimbeer.
God,
I was gonna say,
hate Bill Laimbeer.
Dude, he still embraces the dickheadedness, and like he doesn't even try to act like he likes Jordan. Like he said recently, like, oh, LeBron's better than him, and he does not mean that at all. But he's just holding a grudge against MJ, and I respect the hell out of it.
me too.
And he's a WNBA coach now. Isn't that hilarious?
That is funny.
That is really funny. I didn't.
I
know.
can't even imagine him.
I just after like once they didn't shake hands, like that's bullshit.
Yeah, that pissed me
You
off.
can do whatever you want on the court, but like if you can lose like a gentleman, like I don't know. There's something that was just not a good look at all.
So here's my thing with that. I was okay with it because it's just embracing them just being assholes, like, and everyone hates them. But now Isaiah's like trying to like walk it back. It's like, dude, you probably orchestrated that. Like, stop trying to be this good guy. You're not a good dude. Like, like I just want him to embrace being the villain, and he just will not do that. And
He does when it's convenient for him, just not when it's not. He just wants it both ways.
At least like Lambeer and Rodman, like they're pretty unapologetic about it.
I fucking love Rodman. I love him, dude. He's great. Play for me any day. I just rewinding back a little. So, you know how you guys said like the Tatum Brown tandem, you don't see them winning a title, or at least Sweeney said that because he's a hater.
I said that.
And Kyle. If the NBA does come back this year, and I was talking about this with Andy the other day, since it's such a weird season, I feel like we're just going to get a weird champion this year. Like, I kind of don't see it being like the Lakers, Clippers, or Bucks. Like, not saying it will be the Celtics, but like a team like that, a team that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, why not?
The Rockets.
Oh, no way.
They seem like the kind of fluky team.
They do.
that
It
gets
seems
hot
like this would be the year that they'd win it.
I'd be so pissed. I don't know. I just don't like
Everybody would be.
Like a weird year, like the Rockets could be the ones that do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope it's the Nuggets so the big Galoot can get a ring.
That would be like another weird team too.
So we
like,
can all start calling him the Big Galoot.
Yes.
I'd love that.
what if the Joker took us on a Dirk-esque ride to the finals?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Who would complain about that?
The problem is though, there's no like villain team in the East.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
They can take the Heat down. Oh, the Nuggets Heat finals, that would be wild. That would be out of control. Now, see,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it would have to be the Nets and Kyrie.
Oh.
Are they in the playoffs right now?
No.
7 seed.
I just think the Bucks need to make it to the finals and like be the test to like beat. I don't know. I just think they're so much better than any other East team.
Yeah, I think.
I could see the Raptors making the finals again. They got the.
That's a good one too. I'd love the Raptors to go back to back without Kawhi. That would be fun.
Raptors Clippers finals. That'd be fun.
That's it.
Oh.
That'd be fun. Kawhi took us on a Dirk-esque run last year. That
He
like
did.
that was fucking great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Best player in Raptors history. That's great. That's fun.
That is.
I had another talking point I wanted to bring up with you guys real quick, and this is just kind of a stupid one, but why not? So it's
What's
the best.
happen?
It's the best player with each shoe company. We'll just discuss it over because why not? So Nike, I had 3 to choose from: LeBron, Giannis, and KD. Who do we think it is?
What's the
Who's
question?
the
I'm sorry.
best player?
Well, yeah, like best representative of each shoe company.
Still
That's LeBron. Yeah.
Still say LeBron. Kyle will not say LeBron.
I won't. I just can't out of principle.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
please.
Giannis.
Adidas, do you go Harden or Dame?
Dame.
Dame's so much cooler.
It's probably Harden, but Dame is so much cooler. I don't know what either their fucking shoes look like.
See, if it's shoes and not playing ability, you get to factor in all the coolness you want.
Under Armour, it's Steph. Who cares?
I think it's Dennis Smith Jr.
Is he with Under Armour?
He is with Under Armour. So is Embiid,
Is he still in the Knicks?
unfortunately, and
Yeah.
Mo Bamba's also with Under Armour too.
About that song.
Now Jordan's actually a pretty tough one. I don't know, it's probably Luka, but like just some names I had: Blake Griffin, Russ, Kemba, Luka, Tatum, Zion.
Zion's pretty cool
Right,
for.
yeah, Ion.
Yeah, that's tough. I'd probably go Luca.
But
We
you
might
have-
be forgetting what the sensation Zion was for that last month before everything.
Sure.
Zion looked better on a poster than any of those guys.
I didn't fucking forget. I took him second round of the draft.
That's fair.
Like big
New
man
Balance,
sneakers.
Kawhi cares. Say that, Swin.
Big man sneakers though, like shoes need to be guards. Like we're
That's true.
going to
Or
call
like wings.
or something.
You mean you didn't have a pair of Shaqs back in the day?
Or Shaq. They were dog shit.
Them
Ward
Shaq shit.
sandals.
Ward had a pair of Shaq slides for like 8 years, bro. He's still.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Still,
He definitely still has them.
dude,
Hat. What do you mean
I
hat?
I think he finally retired them because they were literally like, they were leather and they were just like shredding, falling apart. I'm like, dude, those were like $10 at Walmart.
Just go to
Just get a new
Walmart,
pair.
get a new pair.
Yeah.
Like better shoes, Shaqs or Starberries.
What about the
Oh.
Spreewells?
Dude, the Spreewells with the spinners.
So fucking cool.
That was what was that? Data or Dada? Data?
I think Ski-Web
Oh,
wore
yeah.
They did. They had Chris Webber too. I like the Shaq logo though.
it is a cool logo.
Yeah.
What
And
about And One? Did anyone sign with And One?
KG was with And One, but then
Was
moved
it really?
to Adidas.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's
I
awesome.
And then Puma.
Uma.
They're mostly young guys. Like it's DeAndre Ayton, Michael Porter, RJ. There's a Martin Bagley.
Draymond.
That's good,
Draymond
like,
signed
they-
there, too.
No, he's Converse.
Oh, he's Converse.
Oh.
What's
The
what's
Puma
Clay
basketball
Thompson's
shoes are like
Japanese
brand new.
company that he's with?
Yeah, that's what I was
Clay's-
gonna say.
He's one of those-
like,
Anta, I believe it is.
Yeah, Anta.
Yeah.
And then I guess Dwayne Wade started like a shoe company, and D'Angelo Russell signed with it. Congrats, D'Angelo Russell. I'm going to RJ for Puma. Fuck all of you. Or probably Aiden, though. Puma's shoes actually aren't bad.
No, they're not.
Oh, have you seen them? I think
I was kind of impressed.
I signed with Puma in my NBA My Player.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, why Puma?
I don't know. I just wanted to be the face of Puma. They were kind of cool.
What team are you on?
The Grizzlies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What are the stats looking like?
I don't know. I haven't played in months.
Why?
I fired it up again this weekend just to refresh myself for this podcast.
I know. This will probably get me in the mood for it. I bet I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in a basketball mood. Like, with all the good news surrounding the NBA, I just wanted to talk a little round ball with all the fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if we do play this season, who's your title pick officially?
I was about to ask that, but I have one last. Best young tandems in the league.
Fun.
Tatum and Brown, John and Triple J, Luka and Porzingis, Zion and Ingram, Jokic and Murray, Booker and Ayton, Simmons and Embiid, RJ and Mitch. All right, championship picks now.
Lakers
for Kobe.
That'd be
Clippers for Kobe. They called it first.
Celtics.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a weird team that wins. Say it with your chest, Kyle. Say the Bucks.
I like the Bucks a lot though too.
Yeah, you should. Bucks are fucking great.
One of the best teams in the league. So you really would have been there.
They were murdering people too, and the best was like that was one of my favorite sneaky betting trends. Was like when Giannis was out, the line would swing like 8 points, and the Bucks would just fucking smash it and cover anyway. They were sick.
I do feel bad for Bucks fans though, because like they were supposed to win this year, and let's say the season gets canceled, that just goes right into the last season of Giannis for free agency. So like if they don't win the title next year, then and that just sucks for the Bucks fan because they don't deserve Giannis to leave. They deserve him.
Yeah, because they potentially only have this window, and they could be fucked.
It'd be sad if he especially went to a team like Miami too. Like that'd be lame. I would like it if he went to Golden State, though. That'd be kind of awesome.
That would be crazy.
To the Grizzlies with Ja Morant and
yes,
he just goes to another small market team. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I hope he doesn't go somewhere big.
Or he goes to New Orleans, just him and Zion, the front court.
Wow.
Ingram and
I know it makes sense, but just like a little piece of me dies like every time somebody signs to LA or a New York team just because they're an LA or New York team. Let the little guys have some fun.
It's never a New York team. It's a California or Miami team. Or Brooklyn. It does stink though. Like I mean, I like the Warriors, so I didn't really care when KD went there. But at the same time, I was like, why'd you have to leave OKC, man? They didn't deserve that.
Right.
Like, they were going to be the team that loves you, and now, like, who really loves you, KD? I mean, I like you, but, like, you're a mercenary or whatever the term is, I think, if I use that correctly.
Yep.
Fucking smart. Well, guys,
Any takes?
Any takes, besides my baseball take, which was a hot take.
I don't think that can be topped.
No, we're still trying to find a take to top Archangelo's. He said ice cream sucks.
Yeah, that's still number one.
Yeah, and like genuinely meant it too.
The Packers made the right decision with their first round pick.
I was asking him for some takes, and he was going off like a food takes tangent. He's like, all right, now I'm feeling it. And guess what, guys? Ice cream sucks. We're like, holy shit, man, take it easy. He's like, no, I don't really like it that much. We're like, fuck, man. And Andy didn't like that take. I mean, look, I don't agree with the take, but I respect a take of that level.
course.
And like he said it with such sincerity, and it just seems like we're searching for that level of a take, but it just seems like they would all just be very Skip Bayless-y. And I don't know if we'll ever get that.
You two
take.
are.
We're not though. Like
You're just trying to get clicks. You're just trying to get views.
It was a real take, though. It was a real take. Like
hot take culture is ruining
Sports.
everything about media or entertainment these days. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
See,
That being said, I think Zion's better than LeBron already.
This is how you lose viewers.
That's fun. Any takes? No, I don't know. I'm kind of in a good mood with all the Corona stuff. They're like, yeah, sports. They may start on time now. It's like, you know what? I like that. Like,
I think bars are opening up soon.
I need it.
There's Ohio opened up all like outside bars. It's pretty exciting times. It's summer, that's all you need.
That's good.
South Carolina like just never shut down. They're just like, we're just gonna keep it rolling.
Weather the storm.
I did see though. Apparently they are because we'd have like a fall break in the first semester. Like they're just cutting that and ending in-person classes November 24th, and then just going like online from whatever. And I guess Notre Dame's doing that too. But we did it first before Notre Dame, so fuck you, Notre Dame. What's a hot take? Matt Stafford MVP. You heard it here first.
Dude, you just stole that. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's Andy's take. It's Andy's take.
I just told him that 2 days ago. What a fucking asshole.
It's Andy's take, everyone. It's Andy's take.
That's my dark horse MVP pick.
Yeah, let's pick dark horse MVP NFL MVP picks. You're Stafford, Andy. You got Wags.
7. Roethlisberger throws for 80 tutties this year.
Yes.
Yep.
Swain. Does Lamar go back to back?
He could. I don't think he will. I'm just worried he gets hurt. But Ravens, they're picking up Cam Newton to back him up.
Whoa! That's a take.
You know what I think about backup quarterbacks?
Let's hear it.
I don't think you should spend any money on a backup quarterback. None.
Even as a Steelers fan after last year?
If you have a decent backup, if your starter goes down, you're done. You're not going to win the Super Bowl.
That's
so what's
true.
the sense of bringing in Cam Newton?
Sell that to the Eagles.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true.
That's a really good point. You just straw man the hell out of me. God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, like that was like the. I don't know. There've been certain teams who have taken that philosophy. Like for the Steelers, if Ben gets hurt, we're fucked. We're not going to win a Super Bowl. So what's the sense of bringing in some guy for $5 million for him?
See, I think if we had Ryan Fitzpatrick instead of the dummies we had last year, we're probably 10-6 right in the middle of it.
Yeah, but do you think we win a Super Bowl? That's all that matters.
Not though. That is what it is.
So that's like I get what Wags is saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But if you don't want to keep you afloat for 6 games and your guy's going to be back for the playoffs.
Like with Bridgewater and the Saints.
That's true. It's not always a season-ending injury.
I don't know. I mean, we had dog shit as backup quarterbacks, and we still were a game out of the playoffs.
Yeah. No, you're right. You do, especially if you're typically a salary cap tight team like the Steelers. You don't have room to spend, so you got to just save your money there and spend it elsewhere.
Right.
That might be one of my hottest takes that I have is that I'm not completely out on Mason and Duck either, even after last year.
I'm not totally out on Mason.
Are you out on Duck though? On Wags?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think you gotta be. He looked like when he was back there, he looked like he was 5'4". Like who the hell is this guy?
I'll give Mason another chance, but I will not give Duck another chance.
Yeah,
dude, he got smoked by RG3 and the Ravens week 17.
That was horrible.
Yeah,
that was
you were there, weren't you, Swain?
I was pissing, and I got sick.
Were you there,
Uh,
Queen?
Those my Christmas tickets.
Oh,
Like-
God.
What the fuck?
Dude, it was like you couldn't even watch the game on TV. You couldn't see through all the rain. I couldn't imagine
Yep.
what it'd be like being there.
My mom's like, "You're going, right?" I was like, "Do I have to?" She's like, "I bought the tickets." I was like,
My hot take: Giants get Trevor Lawrence.
Mm.
Their schedule's tough. I could see them being like 3-13. And look, Danny Jones, you're okay. You're not Trevor Lawrence, dude.
I know. I just don't want him on the Giants. I just think he'd be so lame there.
The Jags. It's either the Giants or the Jags.
I guess.
Or the Steelers. Why not the Steelers? Just tank another year. Why not?
No.
Good. Shut up. We're
I
fine.
want Ben to get another ring and ride off into the sunset.
Wait, how about this? All right, let's compromise. Tears his ACL. They go 0-16. But Ben plays one more year, and then they win the Super Bowl next year. Then they give the reins to Trevor Lawrence. That's fair.
No, I hate that.
Are you
This year
kidding?
has been so shitty. My heart can't take an 0-16 Steelers.
No. Dude, if you just give me one more Super Bowl, the Steelers can go 0-16 for 4 years straight.
I'm
Thank
giving you the Super Bowl with Trevor Lawrence. You turn that down.
I can't wait another year like that. Last year was tough.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I'm giving you the next franchise
if
quarterback
Ben
in
t-
another Super Bowl.
Dude,
And that's
if Ben
before Trevor Lawrence takes over.
Okay, if realistically, if Ben tore his ACL this year, I doubt he would come back and be able to play again.
Yeah.
Be done.
2 back-to-back season-ending injuries, like he's
Carl-
already always hurt.
I tried to be.
I don't get what it's like. Like, we just went through the Killer Bees era, which was like so fun and awesome, but we don't have fucking anything to show for it. We're fed up. We want one more.
I'm just saying. I gave you the best case scenario, and you just said no. Shut up, Connor, you idiot.
Yep.
I want to win this year.
Me too.
You can win next year and then win like 3 more Super Bowls with Trevor Lawrence. Nope, I tried reasoning with you. Well,
My
guys,
hot take is the Lions win the NFC North.
You were all over the Lions, dude.
Andy.
Relax.
I love it.
And then Matt Stafford wins the MVP, and I win a bunch of money.
Packers missed the playoffs
And then
Whoa.
Rodgers retires, or they.
and kills himself, and then I win.
Kyle, speaking of that, do you know who Dan Graziano is at ESPN?
No, I hate him already though.
Oh no, you don't, because his hot take, he thinks Jordan Love's won more Super Bowls for the Packers than Aaron Rodgers does.
Well,
Oh
I
my
guarantee
God.
that. I'm buying a Jordan Love jersey whenever the season starts. I'm really excited for the future era of my new team.
Well, guys, it was fun talking round ball, little NFL hot takes, Wags. It was fun. We'll see you soon, Sweeney. We'll have you on again soon, Andy. We'll probably have another episode later this week. We'll have you on for Kyle.
Yeah.
See you, pal.
Thanks for
Bye,
having
Thanks,
me.
boys. Thanks for having
Fuck
me.
off.
See ya.
Yep.
Suck a dick.
You too.